Have you ever encountered someone whom you initially perceived as pleasant, only to realize later that they were the exact opposite? As the saying goes, some people are real, some are good, some are fake, and some are exceptionally good at being fake. No better embodiment of this idea exists than Ashley Bemis, the subject of our story. Renowned for her adeptness at crafting fake identities, those who have crossed paths with her liken her to a chameleon. The question lingering is, how long can she sustain the web of deception she weaves? Greetings, wonderful people. I'm Jamie Buck from Wonderbot, bringing you the account of a woman who uncovered the unsettling truth about her nanny's exploitation of her son, only to be confronted with the shocking past of the nanny. Before we delve into the story, make sure to show some love by smashing that like button, subscribing to our channel, and ringing the notification bell for more captivating videos. Many of us routinely share updates on social media, often accompanied by photos. Yet, how often do we ponder who exactly is viewing these snapshots? Do we upload them for a select few friends, hoping for likes, without contemplating the broader audience? How could a seemingly innocuous upload alter one's life? One might wonder. Ashley Bemis serves as a poignant example. Unaware that details from her Facebook photos with her daughter would become a catalyst for upheaval, she never fathomed the consequences. In this particular case, however, it might have been a change for the better. Emily Strickland, who gave birth to her son Blake in 2010, sought a nanny's assistance when she found herself overwhelmed 3 months into motherhood. Little did she know that the online service connecting families with daycare providers would lead to regrettable consequences for her decision. It didn't take long for Emily to discover the ideal person to care for her child, Ashley Bemis, a 28-year-old who appeared to be a natural with children. Ashley's ease with kids was evident, and Blake quickly formed a strong bond with her. Emily Strickland felt assured that her son was in good hands when she left the house. However, can we ever truly be certain when we invite a stranger into our home? Blake wasn't the only one who took a liking to his new nanny. Contrary to common narratives, Emily's husband did not share similar sentiments. This wasn't a tale of the nanny seducing the husband. Instead, it was Emily herself who grew close to Ashley. The two women, after Ashley was hired, spent increasing amounts of time together, eventually becoming best friends. All seemed well for the Stricklands and Ashley Bemis. About 14 months into her employment, Ashley shared exciting news with Emily: she was pregnant. Emily, thrilled for her friend, believed Ashley's exceptional care for Blake made her an ideal mother-to-be. The prospect of a new addition to their happy little community brought joy. Emily eagerly offered her support, wanting to help Ashley in any way she could during the pregnancy. Despite Emily's initial concern about Ashley handling the responsibilities of caring for Blake, Ashley refused to ease up, insisting her pregnancy was proceeding smoothly. Ashley's pregnancy seemed almost charmed. She never complained, experienced no morning sickness, and seemed perfectly healthy. Emily occasionally worried that Ashley might be concealing any discomfort, but eavesdropping on Ashley's conversations with the doctor reassured her that everything was progressing well. As the pregnancy advanced, Emily started feeling that she might have placed too much pressure on Ashley. Concerned for her friend's well-being, Emily decided one day to convince Ashley to go home early. Watching Ashley walk down the street, Emily couldn't anticipate the puzzling sight she was about to witness. Ashley reached into her top and pulled out an object that looked remarkably like a pillow. Emily was utterly shocked. Was this really Ashley? Or had she mistaken someone else for her? The sight of Ashley's seemingly disappearing baby bump left Emily questioning the reality before her. Why would Ashley fabricate a pregnancy? There was no need for such a significant lie. Emily grappled with the revelation. Struggling to comprehend why the person she had entrusted with her child for the past 2 years would deceive her in such a profound manner, how long must one know someone before trust is established? In Ashley's case, apparently, 2 years were insufficient. Emily found herself pondering if Ashley's identity was even genuine. Doubt clouded every detail Ashley had shared during their time together. And Emily was left with numerous unanswered questions after the initial shock subsided. Emily began reflecting on the preceding 2 years in her home. She revisited every interaction with Ashley, replaying each conversation in her mind. As Emily pieced together the puzzle, she realized how blindsided she had been. The more she contemplated it, the more Ashley's narrative appeared meticulously crafted, almost too perfect to be true. Emily now understood that Ashley had not been truthful. And there must be a motive behind the false pregnancy, concerned for her child's safety. Emily couldn't rely on anyone she knew for answers. Frustrated and seeking the truth, she turned to the online realm. Social media, with its pros and cons, offered an opportunity for people to craft their own personas. Ashley Bemis seized that opportunity. After an extensive search, Emily finally stumbled upon a page created by her nanny on Facebook. However, it wasn't Ashley's profile. It was dedicated to Ashley's supposed baby daughter, Cheyenne. Emily found herself once again in a state of confusion. As far as Emily knew, Bemis hadn't mentioned having any children before this pregnancy. Was she concealing the existence of another child from Emily as well? Emily remained perplexed about Ashley's motive for faking a pregnancy and creating a Facebook page for a non-existent baby. Determined to unravel the truth, she scrutinized the photos on the page. A disturbing pattern emerged. None of the pictures revealed the baby's face. After careful examination, Emily stumbled upon one photo that left her in shock. The baby depicted was none other than her son Blake. Unable to comprehend why someone would orchestrate such a deceit, Emily resolved to keep Ashley away from her child at all costs and promptly terminated her employment. Ashley's fabricated identity for Blake involved a fictional baby girl named Cheyenne. According to the concocted information regularly posted on the Facebook page, Cheyenne was gravely ill and in need of a life-saving surgery. Ashley exploited the platform to solicit donations for the purported surgery, leveraging the sympathy of those who would want to help a dying infant. It wasn't until later that Emily discovered the full extent of Ashley's deception. Ashley took Blake to Mission Viejo, a store specializing in children's clothing and accessories, where she befriended other parents. Ashley propagated the false narrative that Blake was her son, successfully convincing everyone she encountered while with him that she was his mother. For this particular group of people, Ashley created another Facebook page dedicated to her fictional baby boy. However, when Emily terminated Ashley and denied her access to Blake, the elaborate web of lies began to unravel, facing a challenging predicament. Ashley became particularly close to a woman named Katie during her time at the Mission Viejo store. Katie was unwittingly on the brink of becoming another victim of Ashley's deception. While many people might reconsider their actions after being exposed, Ashley Bemis was not one to be easily deterred. Even after being fired by Emily Strickland, Ashley continued to weave a new web of lies, caught in a web of deceit. Ashley concocted an unspeakable lie to explain why she no longer posted photos of her son. Unable to be seen with him in Mission Viejo, Ashley resorted to desperate measures. She called Katie, sobbing, and delivered the heart-wrenching news that her son had tragically been killed in a fatal car accident. Ashley's penchant for manipulation knew no bounds. And to her, nothing seemed sacred. However, Ashley's fraudulent schemes couldn't persist indefinitely. While Katie might have continued to believe Ashley's lies, Emily Strickland was not ready to let her off the hook. organizing a video chat with Katie, her husband Joe, and their young son. Emily aimed to prove that Blake was indeed her son and very much alive. The revelation left Katie terrified, realizing the extent of Ashley's deception. Although shaken, Katie was relieved that the child was safe. Emily didn't stop there. After firing Ashley, she secured a restraining order to enhance her sense of security. Additionally, she sought assistance from the county sheriff. Although the sheriff could only affirm that Ashley's actions were morally wrong, as her deceitful behavior wasn't necessarily illegal. The aftermath of Ashley's manipulation left a trail of emotional turmoil and shattered trust in its wake. That it appeared that Ashley couldn't resist the urge to deceive people. As in 2012, she embarked on yet another venture into creating a fabricated life. Once again, she resurrected her pregnancy charade, this time weaving a tale of losing her husband to a terminal illness. Despite her history, she managed to find individuals who were oblivious to her previous schemes, all without relocating to another state, feeling the need for more intricate deception. Ashley introduced yet another tragic element to her narrative, a deaf child. According to her story, her 2-year-old had succumbed to a heart defect. However, amidst the sorrow, life presented her with a silver lining. She was pregnant again. The recurring theme of pregnancy and babies in Ashley's fabrications begged the question of why she consistently entangled these elements in her deceptive tales. One of Ashley Bemis's poignant Facebook posts, designed to evoke sympathy, revealed the success of her ploy. A comment on her post read, "This is one of the most heartbreaking stories I've ever heard. In the past 9 months, Ashley and her husband have lost 2 babies. This was during the time when her husband was still alive." Compassionate and concerned for the apparent widow, a new friend rallied support for Ashley, organizing a baby shower and ensuring she had everything needed for the anticipated new baby. Ashley, however, had no intention of following through with her supposed pregnancy. She sold all the gifts, amounting to hundreds of dollars, as there was no real baby on the way. For several years, Ashley's activities remained under the radar. However, in 2018, the truth about Ashley Bemis came to light and she appeared on the Dr. Phil show on November 1st. It was revealed that her career as a con artist had begun in high school, and she had been caught multiple times over the years. Emily Strickland's son, Blake, wasn't the only child she had presented as her own during her deceitful career. Ashley Bemis had concocted a total of 8 fictional children. Ashley's deceitful tactics extended to taking photos of children found online, sourced from various platforms like Google and Facebook. By posting these images as her own, she successfully led people to believe she had children. The question on everyone's mind, including those she tricked and those who learned about her story, was why? Why did this young woman feel compelled to pretend she was a mother when, in reality, she was not? When questioned by Dr. Phil about the motive behind her actions, Ashley claimed she didn't fully understand the logic herself. Despite acknowledging the wrongdoing, she admitted to never having a problem creating fake lives or identities for herself. Ashley confessed that, although she knew her actions were wrong, pretending to be pregnant or have children made her feel important. Even as she repeatedly got caught, she continued the pattern, seeking alternative ways to attain a sense of significance. Ashley's quest for importance took a bizarre turn with her involvement in the California wildfires of November 2018. Fabricating a story about a firefighter named Shane Goodman, who conveniently happened to be her husband, Ashley created a Facebook page for this fictional firefighter long before the wildfires began. She updated her Facebook page, claiming that her husband, Shane, was among the brave individuals risking their lives to combat the wildfires. In a plea for donations, she asserted they were running low on supplies. Whether Ashley hoped for monetary contributions remains unclear. But her inventive narratives continue to unravel, showcasing a pattern of elaborate deception for the sake of perceived importance. In a brief span, Ashley managed to amass supplies totaling $11,000. However, her attempts to conceal her actions were not foolproof. Someone familiar with Ashley's previous misdeeds spotted her Facebook post and alerted the public, triggering what Ashley described as a social media uproar. Details, including her license plate number and home address, were shared, leading to a swift police intervention despite Ashley's claims of having donated all the goods. Law enforcement discovered a portion of the collected items in her garage and car. Ashley asserted that she refrained from delivering them due to security concerns arising from the exposure of her address and license plate. Skepticism lingered, given Ashley's history as a seasoned liar exposed during the California wildfires incident following public revelation and police charges. The world gained insights into the enigmatic Ashley Bemis. Although the affected families found some relief knowing they were safe, Ashley continued to insist on her altruistic intentions. Nevertheless, a thorough police investigation unearthed another hiding place, another garage on her property, where she had amassed items over the years, including remnants of recent donations. By December 2018, the wait for justice was over, and Ashley was arrested. The police swiftly gathered ample evidence during their search, ensuring that Ashley Bemis would face legal consequences. While Ashley never physically harmed anyone, her actions inflicted considerable emotional distress on numerous individuals. 4 months after her arrest, Ashley Bemis pleaded guilty and received a 177-day prison sentence. The array of charges against her was extensive, encompassing offenses such as dissuading a witness, multiple counts of fraud, burglary, and grand theft. Court records indicated over 30 convictions, spanning from misdemeanors to felonies. During her appearance on Dr. Phil, Ashley expressed remorse for her deeds, acknowledging the pain she had caused the families who had welcomed her into their homes and lives. Despite her limited defense, she openly apologized for the ongoing suffering. Dr. Phil confronted Ashley with 3 of her victims, Emily, Katie, and Haley. Haley, the last victim, met Ashley in 2012 while working as wedding planners. Suspecting Ashley of stealing pictures of her children, Haley discovered the truth after contacting Ashley about a supposed pregnancy. Ashley claimed to be 33 weeks pregnant with twins and involved in a car accident. Doubting her credibility, Haley checked with the emergency room, finding no records of Ashley's claims. Ashley even posted photos of premature babies, which a reverse Google image search traced back to the Huffington Post. The unanimous conclusion among the 3 victims was that Ashley Bemis was beyond redemption. Ashley asserted that the legal challenges she faced could be a catalyst for personal transformation, expressing hope for change with Dr. Phil's assistance. However, Emily Strickland vehemently disagreed. Understandably so. If having restraining orders against her wasn't enough of a wake-up call, why should this be any different? Following her appearance on the popular TV show Ashley Bemis, The Deceptive Nanny, became a viral sensation. Her true nature was exposed to everyone she had encountered, prompting nationwide speculation on how she managed to deceive people for so long. On Dr. Phil, Katie described Ashley as a chameleon, and people across the country scrutinized her story and images, expressing disbelief that anyone had believed her. Commentators pointed out discrepancies, such as the apparent falseness of her pregnancy belly and doubts about her ability to move as she did in a video if she were genuinely pregnant. However, the complexities of personal relationships were acknowledged. with questions raised about why none of her friends had noticed. Notably, Ashley's firefighter husband, Shane Goodman, became a focal point of attention. A Facebook photo purportedly of him was, in fact, an image of actor Jesse Spencer, known for his roles in Chicago Fire and House MD. Ashley's history as a con artist dated back to high school, where her first fake pregnancy occurred. Shannon Crowley, a witness from that time, shared her experience on the Dr. Phil show, recalling Ashley's announcement of a pregnancy that proved to be untrue even though she was still very young. Ashley's desire to keep the pregnancy did not raise suspicions among those who knew her. According to Shannon Crowley, as more people learned about Ashley's pregnancy, there seemed to be no reason to doubt its legitimacy. In fact, a baby shower was even organized for her. Ashley's first victim of a fake pregnancy was her mother's then-boyfriend. She accused him of rape and claimed that he was the father of the baby she was carrying, when asked by Dr. Phil about her motivations. Ashley stated that she believed the man had used her mother and, feeling justified, sought to ruin his life, while she maintains her version of events, insisting she never intended to harm anyone. Ashley faces skepticism, particularly regarding her alleged altruism during the California wildfires. She claims a genuine desire to help those affected but acknowledges the perception that she exploited the situation for personal gain. The sincerity of Ashley's intentions remains uncertain, and her time in jail raises questions about whether it will truly serve as a wake-up call. As she suggested, the challenge lies in whether she will follow through on seeking the help she needs. Given the considerable damage to her reputation, the entire country now knows about her deceitful history, making it difficult for people to believe in the possibility of genuine change. Only time will reveal whether Ashley Bemis can break free from her pattern of deception. Let's continue. Grandma's recurrent falls from her wheelchair prompted the family to take action. They installed a camera and were met with a startling revelation: the universal desire for happiness and the avoidance of suffering for our loved ones, particularly in their final moments. As a result, many choose to place their elders in specialized care facilities, where professionals attend to their needs, allowing them to make the most of their remaining time. These facilities are often regarded as wonderful places, offering various advantages. Elders can peacefully live surrounded by dedicated professionals until the end of their days, or at least, that's the expectation. Unfortunately, even in such places, dark secrets may be concealed without our knowledge. Our loved ones could be entrusted to individuals with malicious intent, making their lives unbearable. Minnie Graham, a strong, intelligent, and feisty woman, lived life on her terms. From a young age, she defied societal norms, drawing inspiration from novels by Jane Austen and Virginia Woolf. These literary influences fueled her liberal ideals, shared only with her understanding sister, Danielle. Minnie was perceived as a rebel by conservative neighbors, challenging established societal order and traditional values. A visionary, Minnie believed in a better life for women beyond the roles of well-educated mothers, wives, and daughters. Her teenage years were challenging, particularly when pressured into marriage by her parents. Faced with the realization that she would never gain family acceptance and that staying would mean forfeiting her freedom, Minnie, at the age of 21, made the courageous decision to leave home. She departed with a heartfelt letter, detailing her feelings and the reasons behind her decision to leave. The farewell was bitter, but Minnie knew it was necessary to escape a life dictated by others. Fortunately, after this somber event, her life took a turn for the better, especially when she encountered Henry, the man who would become the love of her life. Henry Graham was, in broad terms, One of the least traditional individuals one could meet in the 60s, a complete misfit in society. Much like Minnie. Embracing a love for freedom and a desire to explore the world without constraints. Their relationship was anything but ordinary. As an art dealer, Henry spent most of his time traveling, while Minnie, a former teacher, decided to leave everything behind to join him on their adventurous journey. After over 2 years of dating and extraordinary trips worldwide, they tied the knot, choosing a non-traditional path. They got married while traveling in Spain, exploring the exotic Canary Islands, with no guests or grand celebrations. Following a month-long honeymoon touring the mysterious pyramids of Egypt, the couple returned to the USA, specifically to Texas, where they bought a beautiful house and embarked on starting a family. Their dream life materialized as Min became pregnant within a year of moving to Texas, giving birth to twin girls, Sydney and Natalie. At 8 months pregnant, the twins brought immense love and joy into their lives. 3 years later, happiness continued to blossom as Minnie unexpectedly became pregnant again, welcoming a baby boy named Theo while parenthood provided a new perspective. It never altered their non-traditional approach to life. The couple remained loving and innovative parents, raising their 3 children, Sydney, Natalie, and Theo, in a tolerant and understanding manner. Far removed from conventional norms, having experienced an adventurous youth, Minnie and Henry decided to lead a quieter life after the birth of their children. Minnie, in particular, pursued a lifelong dream of becoming a writer. Meanwhile, Henry adjusted his travel pace, spending more time at home to help raise their 3 children. The education and love bestowed upon the children during their upbringing by Minnie and Henry set the foundation for the close-knit family bonds that would endure into the twilight of their parents' lives. As Minnie and Henry Graham entered the twilight of their lives, they were surrounded by the unconditional love and companionship of their adoring children. Recognizing the fortune of having such caring parents, the children spared no expense when it came time to provide the best care for their aging parents. Unfortunately, Henry was the first to pass away at the age of 89 from pancreatic cancer after a courageous battle lasting over 5 years. Despite the family's unwavering support, the doctors could do no more to save him, leaving Minnie devastated. Minnie, on the other hand, enjoyed robust health until the age of 98, when her mind began to deteriorate, leading to a diagnosis of advanced dementia. The family's trusted doctor recommended admitting her to a specialized facility for proper care given the advanced stage of the disease and her age. While Minnie's children understood the difficulty of coping with such illnesses in elderly individuals, they were determined to provide her with the constant attention and care she needed after the heartbreaking diagnosis. Minnie's children faced the challenging decision of admitting her to a specialized facility. The grandchildren, along with the children, decided to admit Minnie to Winters Park Nursing Home in Garland, Texas, considered the best in the state. The family, relying on the facility's reputation, enrolled her there with the hope that she would receive the extensive care she needed in her final weeks of life. However, contrary to expectations, things did not go as planned initially. Everything appeared to be going well, and Mrs. Graham seemed content with her new home. Yet, within a few weeks, complications arose, turning what should have been a remedy into a problem. Minnie's granddaughters visited her nearly every day, bringing clean clothes, magazines, and accompanying her on walks in the garden while listening to stories of her youth. It was during one of these visits that they began to notice that something was terribly wrong. On a visit, they found Minnie battered and bruised, with large bruises covering her body, and her mood significantly worsened. Concerned, they asked if someone had hurt her, urging her not to be afraid and to reveal the culprit. Through tears, Minnie managed to explain that she had been abused by her caregivers, alleging that more than one caregiver had physically assaulted her on multiple occasions. Shocked and outraged, the family confronted the nursing staff at the facility, only to be met with denials. The staff asserted that Minnie had a habit of falling out of her wheelchair, attributing her injuries to these falls. Unconvinced, the family decided to take matters into their own hands. In response to their concerns and suspicions, they installed a hidden camera in Minnie's room to uncover the truth. Shirley Ballard, a family spokesperson, explained to the media. They said she had fallen out of the wheelchair, and that no one beat the patients there. But we didn't believe a word of it. Minnie's granddaughter expressed disbelief in the suggested explanation, stating that she never believed it was the reality of what happened. However, after weeks of secretly recording the events, the family was utterly horrified by the disturbing truth they uncovered. The situation was far worse than they had expected, prompting them to take immediate action. The footage revealed the extent of the abuse Mrs. Graham endured at the hands of her caregivers. Caregivers Brenna Taylor and Uku Luku were shown hitting, pushing, slapping, and insulting the elderly woman. Mrs. Graham screamed in pain and begged them to stop, but they callously ignored her pleas. Terry Harden, another of Minnie's grandchildren who shared the footage with Fox 4 Channel News, highlighted that the videos also depicted Minnie being sprayed in the face with water and having a towel stuffed into her mouth after being used to wash her body. Beyond physical abuse, the caregivers tormented Minnie psychologically, calling her ugly and incessantly mocking her. Once the heinous acts were captured on camera, both Uku and Taylor were fired and subsequently charged with felony injury to the elderly following a complaint filed by Minnie's family. Tragically, while the family fought for justice, CBS reported that just weeks after the footage exposed the mistreatment at the nursing home, Minnie Graham passed away. Shirley, speaking of her late grandmother, said, "She didn't want to live anymore. She was tired of suffering, and her body couldn't take the pain anymore. She was such a happy and full of life woman. She didn't deserve such an end. It is an injustice. And we will not stop fighting until we get those evildoers to pay for what they've done to my grandmother." However, justice faced obstacles. While Uku was swiftly arrested, Taylor continued to work at several other facilities, and the police claimed they were unable to locate her. The family's quest for justice continued despite the challenges they faced in holding the perpetrators accountable for their actions. To everyone's surprise, tracking down the nurse was not a formidable task for the Fox 4 Special News team, who swiftly located Taylor at her home and confronted the abusive care nurse when she attempted to flee. The Ranson law firm, hired by the Graham family for the case, reported that years later, Taylor was eventually convicted on the felony charge of maltreatment and abuse of authority. However, the outcome was disappointing. She received only a 5-year probation and had her nursing license revoked, a seemingly lenient sentence considering the pain she inflicted on her victims. Expressing her frustration, Shirley remarked, "I just don't know how there can be such heartless people in this world." She acknowledged that justice was served to some extent, hoping that Taylor would not be able to harm anyone else. Unfortunately, Minnie's case is all too common in society, where the elderly often face mistreatment and neglect. It is our collective responsibility to combat and eliminate such behavior, ensuring that our loved ones receive proper care in their final years. This tragic story serves as a reminder of the need to prevent such incidents from happening again. Shirley, reflecting on her late grandmother, concluded by saying, "Her ending was far too unjust and should have never occurred." The touching and surprising story of Minnie Graham, a woman who lived true to herself until the end, serves as a poignant example of the need to advocate for proper care for our elders. If you found this touching and surprising story resonant, we invite you to share your thoughts in the comments. To continue enjoying inspiring stories like this one, subscribe to our channel or explore other videos displayed at the bottom of the screen. Thank you for your cooperation.